Hello everybody. Happy Christmas Eve. Got beer here. So in this video I'm going to be listing my top 10 favourite Christmas films. Not necessarily the best Christmas movies. These are just my personal favourites, ones that I enjoy. Now, before I start this list, I'm going to give a few honourable mentions. So these are ones that didn't make the list. Scrooged with Bill Murray, that unfortunately didn't make the list. Christmas Vacation, Chevy Chase, didn't make the list. There's a few others as well, but anyway, this is my top 10. Some of these films you could probably argue that some wouldn't, especially the one I'm about to show first. Some may argue that maybe this is not a Christmas film, but it takes place during Christmas, so I'm including it. That is Batman Returns. Michael Keaton as Batman, Danny DeVito the Penguin, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Classic movie, classic. Yeah, I always enjoy the Michael Keaton Batman films. It's a Tim Burton one. Yeah, really good action film. Next on the list, I'm doing this from bottom to top, by the way. So backwards. Next one. Anyway, this is in no particular order. You know, I could have done that, but nah. Yeah, it's just no particular order. Daddy's Home 2, sequel to Daddy's Home. You know, Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg. Of course, the first film was not a Christmas film, but the sequel takes place during Christmas. And you've also got Mel Gibson on here as well, who I don't really like. I mean, I like him as an actor, but I don't really like him as a person, but I'm not going to go into that. So yeah, Mel Gibson plays the father of Mark Wahlberg, and yeah, it's very funny. It's not as good as the first film, but I still think it's a really good sequel. I love Will Ferrell. He's really funny. Talking of Will Ferrell, next film on my list is Elf, which also has Will Ferrell, and yeah, this is a classic Christmas film. But Will Ferrell got James Caan, who sadly passed on this year. Yeah, I love this film. I don't watch it every Christmas. I should do, because it's well hilarious, and I'm sure lots of people would agree. That's 10, 9, 8. So number 7, Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, love this film. I think it's a bit of an underrated Christmas film. You know, not. I mean, it's a well-known Christmas film, obviously, but it's kind of underrated compared to others. And you also got you got the kid who played the Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace. He plays Arnold Schwarzenegger's son in the film. And yeah, James Belushi also has a cameo in this as a Santa Claus. Yeah, I really like this. Didn't like the sequel. They did make a straight to DVD sequel of this, but obviously that didn't have Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. And but yeah, this is a really good Christmas film. Number 6 is a classic one. Although, you know, this is I'm not ranking these. This is just no particular order. With the exception of my number 1. With the exception of my number 1, this list is no particular order, as I say. But yeah, it's Trading Places. And yeah. Got Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis. Good cast. It's a bit politically incorrect. There's a few there's a bit of discrimination in this film, you know, racism, but so yeah, not the sort of film that you'd get away with releasing now, but but it's a classic film. And you've got Dan Aykroyd as the rich guy. Eddie Murphy is the homeless man, but then they trade places. Eddie Murphy takes over Dan Aykroyd's life. Dan Aykroyd becomes homeless. And you've got the two dukes, who are like best comedy villains of all time. I mean, yeah, they're not good people. They are racist characters, but yeah, I do love this film. Now, next one, Home Alone, the original Home Alone. I did a ranking of the Home Alone series, but I ranked the first 4 movies a couple of days ago, so, you know, check out that ranking if you want to know more of my thoughts on this. But yeah, we all know Home Alone. I'm quite sure everyone watches this every Christmas, and if they don't, they should. Just a classic. There's not really much you can say about this that hasn't been said. It's a masterpiece. Next two I'm about to show, you know, it's kind of subjective. It's debatable whether you consider this a Christmas film, but it does take place during Christmas. And that's Lethal Weapon, the first Lethal Weapon film. Lethal Weapon's a classic. Mel Gibson, Danny Glover. You've also got Gary Busey in the movie as well. Yeah, I love Lethal. I love the whole franchise, actually. I love all 4 of them. The TV series is alright, actually, but the movies are good. I hear we might be getting a Lethal Weapon 5. There's no confirmation of that, I don't think. But yeah, I love Lethal Weapon. Classic 80s action film. Well, action comedy, I would say. You know, there is a bit of comedy in here. Next one is another film that a lot of people debate whether or not it's a Christmas film. And that is Die Hard. Got Bruce Willis as John McClane. Got Alan Rickman in the film. Or the late Alan Rickman. Yeah, you gotta love Alan Rickman. Fantastic actor. Yeah, it's one of the greatest 80s action flicks. And I love the whole franchise as well, you know. I love Die Hard. I love all 5 of the movies. I think they're all... Although the last one probably was my least favourite, but the first 4, quality. I love them. Number 2, another classic, and that is Gremlins. This DVD set has both of them on it, but I'm only talking about the first Gremlins film, because the second one doesn't take place during Christmas, but the first one does. And yeah, love Gremlins. I love both of them, but I'm only talking about the first one here because the second one is not a Christmas film. You know, you've got Gizmo. We all know Gizmo, and I'm sure we all love Gizmo. Such a lovely character. I really would like to get a Gizmo doll. You know, one of the plush toys, one that you can switch on and it plays a song. And we all know Stripe, the villain. Yeah, I love Gremlins. I love both of them. Well, the second one's more of a slapstick comedy. The first one's actually quite dark. There's actually some genuinely disturbing moments in the first one. Like comedically disturbing, you know, but the first one's pretty dark compared to the second one. And number 1 is Black Christmas, the original Black Christmas from 1974. Definitely one of the earlier slasher films. Gotta love it. You know, this predates Halloween. I mean, obviously Halloween wasn't the first slasher film, but it was the film that sort of brought the slasher genre into the mainstream. Because and this was one of the slasher films that predated Halloween. And just before this, you had Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then you could also argue that Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho was an early slasher film. But yeah, I do love Black Christmas. I quite enjoyed the remake from 2006, which I do have. I think it's all right, actually. I haven't seen the 2019 version yet. A lot of people have said it's shit, but I'm gonna give it a go. I'll give it a watch if I find a copy of it. But yeah, the original one's classic. You've got John Saxon in here. who 10 years after this, he would go on to appear in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. And the character he plays in this is very similar, because he plays a cop in this film, and he also plays a cop in Nightmare on Elm Street as well. But yeah, he's 10 years younger here. But yeah, I love John Saxon. So yeah, that's my top 10. That's my top 10 Christmas films list. I hope you enjoyed that. And I will be making another video tomorrow, just showing what I got for Christmas. So, you know, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you all tomorrow. And cheers.